and welcome to WRPB and WRPB Studios. You know, I'm doing this so many years, and I've learned so much and kind of been skeptical about a lot, and kind of a lot of my skepticism was kind of changed by interviewing people who have amazing talents and amazing skills. With me is David Hack and Linda Lee Hack, and they're an amazing couple. The gentleman sitting next to me, David Hack, okay, is an author. Prior to being an author, he was in two professions, okay? One of them being an attorney, which means he knew how to research and knew how to look things up. Linda Lee had the ability that I think we all have, which is to be intuitive. And she took it upon herself to nurture that to be the expert she's become today. And the book kind of tells the beginners, okay, the direction, and the more advanced, a little further direction. David, did I get it at least right?
Yes, you did. It was structured so that even skeptics could read this and maybe be enlightened about psychics and mediums and what they do. And that was the purpose of the book. And hopefully it be enlightening for even people who have more experience with psychics and mediums.
You mean like me, who have very little experience, but want to learn little bit more?
Well, Wayne, I started from zero.
Okay.
And I am not a psychic and I'm not a medium today, but I know a lot about it. And Linda has been very helpful in structuring this book. And really the second half is more about her extraordinary ability. She has clients around the world who she reads and she consult with her, and her experience as a medium is extraordinary. And the book would be very, very enlightening, I think, for people who have a further interest in it.
Okay. Linda, I got to ask you this. And do you mind I call you Linda, not Linda Lee for the moment?
Linda is fine.
Okay. So, the book says psychics, mediums, and spirits. Mm-hmm. What's the difference for like us who don't have a clue?
Okay. A psychic is known for predicting future events.
Okay.
Okay. And a medium is somebody like myself who can step into the energy of another's field and can read that energy, and therefore being able to invite in anybody, spirits. Spirits we classify as somebody who has crossed over into the afterlife. When we're here, we carry a soul within us. This is our soul in here. Our heart is more than a muscle. It's our soul is in that area of our body as well. And when that soul leaves, it now, for the sake of us here on earth, it is referred to as the spirit. So your grandparents, for instance, who have crossed over, okay, they may step in while I'm doing a mediumship with somebody and give them information. Generally, they'll always give them some kind of clarity. Like, for instance, I'll begin to have visions once I see these people. I'm able to tell the sitter what this person looks like, what they might be wearing, how they might be clothed. Sometimes they show me themselves when they were younger. Sometimes they show themselves best when the client knew them. Say for a grandparent, grandma's always a grandma, no matter how old or young she is, right? So that spirit will show me, how she dressed, for instance, or she'll bring up a bicycle. I'll say, all of a sudden, I see this really pretty pink bicycle. What does this bicycle mean? Does it mean something to you? Oh my God, yes, she bought me a bicycle when I was 9, and da 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 da. That's the spirit confirming that we have the right spirit to communicate with the right sitter.
Okay, so my question to you is, and we were discussing this outside before we got on air, it's not perfect, right?
No.
Okay. Now, you said something interesting because I use the word psychic and use the word intuitive. But really, what I'm really learning now is that psychic is more of a medium than an intuitive is more than a medium than an intuitive of a psychic, because my ability, okay, is, for lack of a better word, is to read the here and now. I don't go in their past. I don't talk to people who've crossed over. And I don't think there's not one of us right here or in this whole studio that has the ability to tell you what the lottery numbers are. So don't even ask. Okay?
No, as a matter of fact, I had somebody ask me yesterday.
Really?
Yes.
I would think that would always be a question someone's going to ask.
Yes, they have. They have asked that. Why don't, if you're so good at what you're doing, why don't you give us the lottery numbers?
Right.
Right.
And if that was the case, they wouldn't be sitting here because we'd be in Hawaii somewhere.
Right. In that case, there would be no lottery.
Right.
anymore.
There would be no lie. All right. So, what induced you to write the book?
Well, I had to start from scratch. Now, first of all, Linda's awakening as a medium took place after we were married. This is like 3 for me, so.
I'm the same way. Don't be special. I'm 3 also.
Okay.
Third time's a charm.
Anyway, we've been married for 25 years now. And in the second half, really, of our marriage, she started to awaken in these abilities, particularly in the mediumship area. Now, I write in the book that there are mediums and there are psychics, and that they are not necessarily the same. They can be.
Okay.
They can be. But a medium is not necessarily a psychic, but a medium does have some psychic abilities. Linda is a beautiful example of that. And just my research, which I had to do about finding people who wrote about it in the 1800s and the 1900s and who were special mediums today, I put that all in the book because I needed that to describe what was going on with these people. The part that I didn't have a good handle on was the afterlife. And when a person passes over, dies, if you will, there is an afterlife, and we, in this area, call it the spirit world. And you're in the spirit world. And the research that has been done is astounding about what the spirit world is like. Very much. People in the spirit world have passed over aren't. I may offend some people here, but
Go for it.
okay, I will. There is no heaven and hell like pictured in books and scriptures and so forth. When you pass over, you die, but it's not a death that's painful. And people in the spirit world and the afterworld live kind of their lives just like we do, except they're amorphous. They don't have
They have no
vessels.
vessel to hold.
Yeah.
Keeping doing.
And they live, if you like fishing like I do,
Mhm.
you can go fishing in the afterworld, but it's all in what I call an amorphous area. And if you like to eat, you can eat, but
Oh,
you
there
don't
you go.
have to eat.
I'm okay then with it.
You don't have to eat because your body, as into the afterworld, has no shape, no form. It's in the spirit. You're a spirit. And that took me a long time to figure out. And I did a lot of research and I found this fellow by the name of Allan Kardec, who wrote in the 1800s.
Oh.
That's his pseudonym now. He wrote about 7 or 8 books, which I had to absorb. But at that time, he was kind of a stranger. He was not taken too seriously until he developed all of his literature about talking to spirits, which is, by my words, talking to spirits. And he did, and he wrote very convincingly. That was my first exposure to it. Now, when a reader would go into this book, I demonstrated that rather thoroughly, because there are different levels of spirits. I'll call them devils.
Okay.
There are spirits who are very tuned in to themselves, and others they are working their way up the ladder to being close to God, whatever we believe God
Mhm.
may be,
Right.
spiritually. And that dovetails with reincarnation, which I kind of got into the book, and how it either is in accord with a lot of religions, but not all. There's some religions that their tenets don't don't have you accept what reincarnation is. I go into explaining how maybe you can, based on all of this history. Anyway, getting into Linda's abilities, they're extraordinary. And the second half of the book literally is about her past lives. She's been interviewed by people who have extracted from her past lives, and they are mind bending, really mind bending. And that's all in the book as well.
You know, the sad part is that we have such a short time on this physical earth, and adding that is the short time we have to interview so much information, and we get to the top of our time, and I go, oh my gosh, there's so much to add to what you guys do. And there's just no time. And it's like so interesting to me because I could sit here and go forever because I find it very interesting. And not that I have to agree with everything,
Right.
No, not at all.
okay? But I have to respect the fact that you did the research and it's owed at least my researching into it to see what I want to believe and see what I don't want to believe. In my mind, in the Jewish religion, there really is no hell. We don't talk about hell, okay? We don't talk about the Guff, the Hall of Souls. Reincarnation is an interesting scenario because it's true. What happens to that energy that is in a, I don't care what anybody says.
It never dies.
This
It
energy,
changes form.
right? And so I can gotta get that. I would need to kind of figure out from a book like this what actually happens to that energy. All that research that you did and other people have done to get to this book to where it is really kind of amazing. Okay, we're running out of time. How do people find you? You got a website?
Yes. It is called channelingbylindalee.com.
Can they get the book on that website?
I do have it on there, but it is in all major outlets, all the major book outlets, Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Target, all of them. You can get it
available on
online.
and Kindle.
And it's also available on
Yeah,
Kindle
Kindle.
for immediate download.
I got to tell you, if you read the book, there's going to be things in here that are going to spark your interest, change your mind, and there'll be probably stuff in here that that's going to buck against what you believe, okay? But if you do the research, okay, you'll learn that maybe what you thought one way is really a little bit different than what you thought. I have learned over the years that this world revolves around energy more than anything else. And that's just my opinion. And I'm at a point in my life where if someone doesn't have good energy, I throw them out of my studio because I believe energy is so important. I want to thank you for taking the time to come in and to write a book to enlighten people on really what's going on. I want to tell Linda that I get it, and I'm nowhere near where you are with the abilities that you have, but I believe that people can get to that point.
Oh, absolutely.
And I believe this book is a help to get a step further and a step further.
Yes.
With it, David, thank you for coming on. Linda, thank you for coming on.
Thank you.
Wayne, thank you. You've hit the nail on the head in your summary. Thank you very much.
Oh, no problem. Everybody have a great day. Check out the book, and we'll be right back.